Hello, students. Today, we're going to learn about an important grammar structure called the third conditional. Many students feel that conditional sentences are difficult because they talk about situations that are not real. However, once you understand the idea behind them, they become much easier. The third conditional is used when we talk about past situations that did not happen and we imagine a different result. In simple words, we use it to talk about regrets, missed opportunities, mistakes, or things we wish had happened differently in the past. For example, I did not study hard, so I failed the exam. This is a real past situation. But if we imagine another possibility, if I had studied harder, I would have passed the exam. The speaker knows that they did not study hard, and they did not pass. They are only imagining a different past. 1. What is third conditional? The third conditional describes an unreal condition in the past plus an imaginary result in the past. The structure is if plus past perfect would have plus past participle, verb 3. Formula. If plus subject plus had plus verb 3, subject plus would have plus verb 3. Examples. If I had studied harder, I would have passed the exam. If she had arrived earlier, she would have met the teacher. If they had saved money, they would have bought a new car. 2. Understanding the two parts. A third conditional sentence has two main parts. Part 1. The condition something that did not happen. We use if plus had plus past participle. Examples. If I had woken up earlier.
If he had listened to me.
If we had prepared better. This part talks about an imaginary change in the past. Part 2. The result, what would be different. We use would have plus past participle. Examples. I would have caught the bus. He would have avoided the problem. We would have won the game. 3. When do we use third conditional? A. To talk about regrets. We use it when we feel sorry about something in the past. Example. Real situation. I didn't learn English when I was young. Imaginary situation. If I had learned English earlier, I would have spoken English better now. Meaning, I did not learn English earlier, so my English ability is not as good as it could be. B. To talk about mistakes. Example. Real situation. She forgot to set an alarm. She was late for work. Third conditional. If she had set an alarm, she would have arrived on time. Meaning, she did not set an alarm, so she arrived late. C. To imagine different results. Example. Real situation. The team lost the match because they played badly. Third conditional. If the team had played better, they would have won the match. Meaning, they did not play well, so they lost. 4 more examples. Example 1. Education. Real. Tom did not study for the test. Tom failed the test. Third conditional. If Tom had studied for the test, he would have passed. Example 2. Travel. Real. I missed my flight because I arrived late. Third conditional. If I had arrived earlier, I would have caught my flight. Example 3. Health. Real. She ate too much unhealthy food. She became sick. Third conditional. If she had eaten healthier food, she would have been healthier. Example 4. Money. Real. They spent all their money. They could not buy a house. Third conditional. If they had saved more money, they would have bought a house. Example 5. Friendship. Real. He didn't call his friend. They lost contact. Third conditional. If he had called his friend, they would have stayed in touch. 5. Negative third conditional. We can also make negative sentences. Structure. If plus subject plus had not plus verb 3, subject plus would not have plus verb 3. Examples. If I had not forgotten my keys, I would not have been locked outside. If they had not wasted time, they would not have missed the opportunity. If she had not driven so fast, she would not have caused an accident. 6. Questions with third conditional. We can ask questions using this structure. Examples. What would you have done if you had lost your phone? Answer. If I had lost my phone, I would have bought a new one. Where would you have gone if you had had more free time? Answer. If I had had more free time, I would have traveled. To conclude today's lesson, the third conditional is a powerful grammar structure that helps us talk about the past in a different way. We use it when we imagine situations that did not happen and think about what the result could have been. The most important thing to remember is Third conditional equals impossible past situation plus imaginary past result.
The formula is
If plus had plus verb 3, would have plus verb 3. For example, if I had studied harder, I would have passed the exam. Do not think of the third conditional as a difficult grammar rule. Think of it as a way to tell stories, share experiences, learn from mistakes, and express your thoughts about the past. The more you practice using it with your own life experiences, the easier and more natural it will become.